Now, one of the resources that can help you if you are not here is what I'm doing right now, which is recording the class. Okay? Each and every day I do that same thing. The microphone's right there. Right? It mostly just picks up me. Okay? But once in a while it picks up you, so watch your mouth. Really awkward. Okay? If it's picking up you saying things you shouldn't say, then YouTube gets mad at me. So, yeah, watch your mouth. Okay? Most of the time it doesn't pick you up. Just if you are asking a question or something, then it sometimes hears you, sometimes it doesn't. Okay? Mostly just picks up you. So what I will do is teach the lesson as per normal. That will get recorded as well as anything that's on the smartboard, any questions I solve, any of that. It's all on there. Okay? And that gets posted to YouTube daily. Sometimes I'll record you guys in period 4. Sometimes I'll record period 3. Okay? If something happens in period 3, then I screw up the recording. Like I bring somebody out, forget to pause the recording while I do it, then I have to record in period 4 because I don't want to post that. Okay? Or, well, this can't happen now, but it happened when I had a portable microphone the time I went to the bathroom and left the recording. Really awkward. Okay? Yeah, so that won't happen because now this has to stay here. Okay? But it'll be recorded just so you know that. Okay? And those recordings will always be available on YouTube. I just post them on Google Classroom each day. So if you're not here, that's where you need to go to find out what you missed. Okay? But make sure you are here. If you are not here, you're responsible for whatever goes on that day. If we did a lab, you're still responsible for completing that lab report, okay, and getting it submitted on time just like everybody else. Okay? It does not relieve you of your responsibility for it. So make sure you're getting caught up. Okay? If we do a lab, I will post not only the recording of the instructions, sometimes video of the lab, always results or data that you can use to get your lab report done. Okay, and then obviously when you get back, you can always ask me questions. Okay, but it is possible for you to do that. Just make sure you're staying up to date. Okay, for lates, okay, make sure you're on time, please. Okay, if you are late, okay, then the door will be in that position, closed. Stay on the other side of it. Don't knock. Okay, have a window. I'll see you up there. Okay, I'll come get you when it's not an interruption to everybody else. Okay, I won't make you wait that long, but I'm not going to just let you wander in whenever. Okay, I'll come get you when it's more appropriate. Okay, if you've been out there for 20 minutes, it means I'm like really choked at you and I'm not letting you in, or I just didn't notice you. Probably I didn't notice you. Okay, at that point you can probably knock. Okay, everybody clear on that? Okay, don't be late. All right, resources available to you. Okay, first off, we got Google Classroom. All right, so once you're joined, you'll see this. Okay, you'll see I've already posted a few things in here. Okay, all of that stuff is in the course materials section of the classwork tab. Okay, so in here you will find the course syllabus, which you already have in front of you, so there's no need for you to print that. And the formula sheet. You don't need to print that either. I will get you a fresh one of those here in the next couple of days. Okay, and then the most important part is the notes package and workbooks. Okay, this is your textbook essentially for this course. There is a textbook, but we don't use it. Okay, it's just not that good, and it's big and heavy, and people forget it all the time, so we don't bother. Okay, if you really, really desperately want to have one, you can go sign one out with Miss Reed. She has like one class set, I think. Okay, but you don't need it. All right, so if you click on here, it'll take a little while to load, but they'll all show up here on the right. Okay, and those files are your notes package and the workbook package for each unit. Okay, but they're big files, so it takes a little while. There they are. Okay, so you'll see here, they'll have your name. It won't say student Coderre, that's my student account. Okay, you guys will have your name on it. Okay, and it'll be the notes package or the workbook package. Okay, so this one is the notes package. Okay, and then the notes or the workbook packages are arranged by unit. Okay, and they're in Google Docs format, so they're yours. You can modify them, add to them. Okay, highlight things in them, whatever it is you need to do, especially in the notes package. That's what they're there for. Okay, so what you have to decide is what form is going to work best for me in terms of having notes available for class. Some people really have to have the pencil and paper. Okay, if that's you, when you go home, print it out. Be aware, it's like 60 pages. Okay, don't print it in color, or halfway through you'll be going to Walmart to get a new ink cartridge. Okay, they're not cheap. It's sometimes cheaper to buy a new printer, which is really weird. But okay, so I'd say print in black and white. Okay, if you're going to print it. Okay, if not, I have a lot of people who just have it on their phone. Okay, and I'm okay with that. I think people are typing on their phone while I'm talking up here because they're adding stuff to the notes. If you open it in Google Docs, you can add whatever you want to it. You can add all of your own jot notes. You can highlight things you think are important in there. That's why I have it in that format, so you can make whatever changes to it are going to work for you. Okay, if you want to have a tablet or a laptop so it's a little bit bigger, that's fine too. I have no problem with technology being used in the classroom, including your phone, as long as it's being used responsibly. Okay, if you're just Snapchatting the whole class, I'll notice. Okay, but if you're using it for this, that's fine. That's what it's for. Okay, everybody with me on that? All right, so you guys decide what format's going to work best for you, and make your decision on that. Okay, for the workbooks, I wouldn't print those. Okay, there really isn't a need to unless you desperately want to have it on paper. But when we use the workbook, I'll usually have the questions up on the board anyway. Okay, or you can just have them on your phone and be working on a separate piece of paper. Okay, there's probably no need to do that. To have them printed, that is, okay, we can save some trees on those. Okay, so that's where you'll find all of that stuff. Okay, and the other thing is my YouTube channel, which I'll show you, but I'll always have links posted in the stream. So after today, okay, there'll be a thing here that says "Welcome to Physics 20" and scalar and vector quantities, and there'll be a link to a YouTube video, which is what I'm making right now. Okay, and you can just click on that, and it'll take you to my YouTube channel where those things will be posted. Okay, so it looks like this. If you go to YouTube and search CoderreScience, it'll pop up. Okay, this is the channel. There's playlists here for Physics 20 organized by units. Okay, obviously after today, I'll be taking last semester's podcasts out of there. Okay, so these will all disappear and then they'll fill up as we go along. Okay, but that's where you can find them if you need them there. Okay, there is no need to subscribe or click the bell or anything like that because I'll just post the links in Google Classroom. I'm not making a dime or a penny or anything off of this. Okay, you can see you need 1,000 subscribers and 20,000 watch minutes or hours or something. I'll never get there. Okay. Okay, so I'm not telling you watch all this stuff, watch these all the time so I can make money, because I'm not making a dime on this. Okay, before they changed the monetization rules and this channel was actually monetized, I made $1.53 in 5 years. Okay, so you're not helping my retirement, my pocketbook negatively or positively in any way by watching the videos on here. They're for you to help you review things, or if you missed a day, or you can't remember how to solve a Newton's second law problem and you want to see me go over one, you can do it that way. That's what they're for. Okay? Lots of people use them to that effect and use them very well. Okay? So they are useful there. If you're doing a lab report, it's worthwhile to watch the recording of it so that you get all those little tips and hints that I dropped about what you should include in your lab report. Okay? It can be useful for that as well. Okay? But that's where you can find all of that stuff. Okay, so like I said, each day I'm going to post the day's activities and a link to the day's podcast, any developments, notes on Google Classroom. In the post, I may also include links to lab data in case you're absent or lose yours. Okay, and I will also post things to help with your quizzes. Okay, in this class, you will have a quiz every Tuesday and every Thursday, unless you are told otherwise. You won't have one tomorrow. So I'm telling you otherwise. Okay, you don't have one tomorrow. Okay, what I will do Mondays and Wednesdays right after school is I will post some questions that will be like what will be on the quiz the next day. They will not be exactly the same, okay, but they will be like what will be on your quiz. The suggestion being, try them at home. They'll take you 5 or 10 minutes, okay, and it's a good practice for the quiz that will be for real the next day. Okay, I no longer post the exact quiz. I used to do that. It worked really well in the first year, and then after that, people started cheating. So, stuff. Okay. So you'll get some questions that are like what will be on the quiz, but not exactly. Okay. So if you're using those resources, you should always return to class if you've missed, already caught up. Okay. So I don't want to be asked after you've been gone for a week, hey, Coder, I was gone for a week. I went to Mexico. What did I miss? A lot. And that's all I'll say. Okay? A lot. Because it's the truth. Okay? We will have missed a lot. Okay? Your responsibility as the student is to get caught up. Okay? If you have questions after that, no problem. Okay? You come back to me after missing a couple days because you were sick and say, Mr. Coder, I watched your podcast on how to do a projectile motion problem, and I think I get the horizontal ones, but I'm having trouble with the fired at an angle questions. Can you help me with that? Yes. You've done your part. You knew exactly what I'd covered. You tried some of the questions. You were having some trouble with one of them. Now I'll do my job. I'll help you with that stuff. Okay? But you have to have done your part, which is I looked over, I watched it, I tried it, I still don't get it. Okay, then we're good. Okay, so everyone follow kind of your role? Okay. All right, for section 3 here, classroom behavior, okay, big thing is respect. I expect you guys to treat each other respectfully. I will treat you respectfully. Okay, if you ever think I have not, please talk to me after class about it, because that's bad. Okay, I will always do my best to treat you with respect. Okay, listen up. That's my cue that I need your attention. So when I say listen up, that means I need eyes forward, ears free of headphones, okay, and your full and undivided attention. It can be simple like, hey, listen up, we got to get started. Listen up, there's a mistake in the book. Listen up, the room is on fire, we need to go now. Okay, just I need your attention if I say listen up. Okay. In terms of the work that's going to go on in class, there's like 2 different groups that the work will fall into. Okay, there's the work that is kind of like coached practice. Okay, that would be worksheets that we work on in class to like hone our skills and things like that, working on problem solving and things like that. Okay, that stuff that's in the workbook, I'm not going to be checking. I'm not going to be marking any of it, okay, for a couple of reasons. First reason, it's practice. Second reason, the answers are in there and it really doesn't tell me anything. Okay, so it's just there for practice. But if I've got you working on on a worksheet from the workbook in class and you don't finish it, chances are you should probably finish it at home. Okay, it's good practice, but I'm not going to be checking. Okay, the other kind of work is the stuff that is going to come in and get marked. That's lab reports, assignments, research projects, things like that. Okay, I'll let you know when those are happening. The majority of those will be submitted through Google Classroom. Okay, there's the odd thing that comes in on paper here and there. Okay, but I will let you know. Those you definitely have to get done because I'm going to mark them and put them in your gradebook. Okay. All right, if you're doing all that work, okay, you're doing your quizzes like the night before and then you're doing well on your quizzes, you can expect that you'll perform well on the unit exams and final exams. Okay, the stuff that's on your quizzes is the same stuff I'm going to ask on your exams. Your exams are very heavily weighted in this course. Okay, main reason for that, they're the one assessment I know I can trust was you and not you and your friend or just your friend. Okay, because I've had a little too much of that going on the last couple of years. Okay, I've had a number of classes where people had very inflated grades going into tests and then suddenly floundered or were brutally exposed because they had not done any of their own work up to that point. Okay, so know that your exams are heavily weighted because they're the one thing I can trust is you. Okay, so you need to be prepared for it. To that end, I'm available for help every day. Scheduled help because I have no life, also at lunch. Okay, come in here and I will be here if you have questions. Okay, come in and ask, come in and get help. Okay, if your quizzes have not been going well, that's an indication you need to come in and get some help on that material in particular. Okay, that's what the quizzes are for. They're to tell you what you know and to let me know whether I can move on or not based on how people live. Okay, all right. Okay, on the exams, should you, by some act of God, not pass a test, and this is a rare occurrence, okay, then there's no rewrites. You need to understand that. Okay? There's no rewrites in real life, so there's no rewrites here. Okay? You become a brain surgeon, okay, and you screw up, you lobotomize somebody. You don't get to go, oh, just put a new brain in there, we'll try that again. Okay? That's not how real life works. Okay? So we need to start getting used to how real life works. If that does happen, not that you get lobotomized, but you get less than 50%. Okay? Then I will usually bring you in and have you work with me on a couple of things, and then I apply a small grade correction. Okay? It's not a do-over by any stretch. Okay? It's a small correction. Okay? Not a massive improvement. Right? Okay. Fairness versus equality. I always try to treat everybody fairly, but understand that fairness and equality are not the same thing. Okay? Everybody's different. Everybody comes from a different place. Everybody brings different things with them to school each and every day. Okay? As a result, I try to treat everybody as fairly as possible for that person. Okay? I'm not going to treat everybody exactly the same. Life's not like that either. Okay? If you ever feel that I've treated you somehow unfairly or somebody else unfairly, please come and talk to me about it. Okay? I want to make sure that I'm doing a good job of that. All right? Okay. And then accountability. Okay? So high school is the start of real life. So due dates and timelines are part of your reality. Okay? We're still working on time management skills and things like that. So as a result, I want to help you with those skills. Okay? I do that by never asking for something due the next day. Okay? If we do a lab on a Tuesday, I'm not expecting that you will have that done Wednesday. That's not fair. It's not realistic. You might have a part-time job where you have to work from 4 to 11 that night. Okay? You'd have no chance to get it done. Okay? Or maybe you're on the basketball team and you have to take off for a game. You're not going to be home till 11 o'clock. So you're not going to get it done. It's not fair for me to ask you to put your life on hold and get this done in one day. Okay? So as a result, the minimum turnaround for an assignment in my class is 2 school days. I can't even remember the last time I had it that short. Okay? It's usually like 2 school days, and then there's a weekend and it's due on the Monday, okay? Or it's 3 school days. You do a lab on a Tuesday and it's due on Friday. Like that would be your quickest turnaround, okay? There should be lots of time for you to be able to plan when you can get it done. There's usually class time as well to work on it, okay? Just know that you have to be able to get things turned around, okay? All right, so as a result of that, there's not a lot of excuses that I'll accept for you to not have something done. Like I was in a coma for 5 weeks. Okay, that's legit. Okay, you probably couldn't get your work done. All right, but like beyond that, okay, there's really not a lot of reason to not get things done on time. Okay, so assessment and evaluation. So for your marks, okay, the first thing is that I'm not going to discuss a mark you get on something with you in class. Okay, it's not only incredibly awkward, it's also unprofessional for me to do that. That is your mark. It's like a freedom of information and privacy thing. I can't talk to you about that in front of everybody else. So if you have a question about a mark, come and see me after class about it. Even if it's something like stupid, like I added it wrong. Okay, when I totaled it up. Okay, if that's the case, just come see me after class and I'll fix it. Okay, if you have a question about why you got that mark, then talk to me after class and I can explain it. Whenever I hand something back to you, I will go over it in its entirety. Okay, I'll go over, like, here's how we solve question number 4, or here's what the graph should look like for this lab, or whatever. I go over all of it so you can make corrections and understand all the concepts. Okay, if you still have a question after that, then still come and ask. Okay? Okay, your marks will be distributed according to the syllabus. We'll talk about that in a minute. Assignments and labs are to be handed in on time. Okay, late assignments can be handed in, but they will be penalized 30%. Okay, and I don't have varying degrees of late. Okay, I know some teachers like, oh, it's 10% a day up to whatever. I don't have that. That means that some late is more late than others. It's either on time or it's late. Okay, that's one of those black and white things. Okay, it's a minute late, it's a day late, it's 2 weeks, it's 5 months, whatever. It's still late. Okay, it's 30% off if it's late. Okay, so make sure you have it done on time. Okay, and I expect that everything is due at the start of class on the due date. Okay, not the end of the school day, not midnight, the start of class on the due date. That's when things are due for you in my class. Okay, now, reasons for that big late penalty. First off, it's not fair for you to get the same mark as everyone else who got it done on time. And secondly, you will always get your assignments back from me the next day. Always. Okay? I've been teaching for more than 20 years. I've failed to get an assignment back the next day once. The day my second son was born. I stand by my decision to not mark labs while my wife gave birth to my second son. That was the right decision then. It's still the right decision, and I stand by that. Okay, guys, that was the right decision. Okay, my wife would have been really mad at me if I was marking labs while she was doing that. Okay, I did get it back the day after. Okay, but I stand by that. All right, so I'm always going to get them back to you the next day. And like I said, when I hand them back, I'm going over it in its entirety. Okay, it's hardly fair for you to get full marks after that. Okay, get them done on time. Okay. All right, questions on any of those? Okay, so there's 4 units in Physics 20. Okay, first unit is kinematics. First little bit of that is review of Science 10. So there's some V equals D over T, some acceleration stuff with some new formulas. Okay, some graphing, okay, which is also kind of review, position versus time, velocity versus time graphs. Okay, then we move into vector addition. Okay, vector addition involves trigonometry, okay, summation of 2-dimensional vectors, and then we move from that to projectile motion, which basically puts all of that together into one thing. Okay, so if trig is not your thing, I got to warn you, half the course involves it. Just getting things out there and putting straight with you on the first day. Okay, half of this course is going to involve trigonometry. Okay, so control that kind of thing. So that unit will take us until middle to end of March, because we have a week off here in February, right? So probably middle to end of March before we've done that. The second unit is dynamics. So we look at a lot of the same movements, but now instead of looking at the movement itself, we look at the forces that cause it. Okay, so we're looking at Newton's second law, Newton's third law. Okay, we look at work energy theorem, which is reviewed from Science 10, conservation of energy, which is also reviewed from Science 10, where we expand on those ideas a bit. Okay, that does tend to be the toughest unit. There's still vectors, still trig in that unit. Okay, and that one will take us up until after Easter for sure. Okay. After that unit, then we have circular motion and gravitation. Okay, that tends to be the shortest and easiest of the 4 units. Okay, it only takes us about 3 weeks to get through this one. We look at why things move in a circle, how circular motion happens. We look at gravitation, why gravity occurs, how it attracts objects, things like that. Okay, that one will take us to about the end of maybe the second last week of May. And then Unit 4 is simple harmonic motion and mechanical waves. Okay, so that's any oscillating object. Waves are an oscillation in the medium, so it ties together. Okay, that one will take us up till the very end, second week of June. All right, questions on those? Okay, so your marks distribution goes like this. Your unit exams, or 4 of them, are with 45% of your final mark. Okay, so they're big. Make sure we're ready for those. Okay, your labs, assignments, and projects, that's the stuff that you hand in to me, your coursework, okay, is 20% of your final grade. Your quizzes are 10%. Now, if you do the math on that, you're getting about 2 a week for an entire semester. How much is each quiz worth? I'm actually not looking for a number. Not very much would be good. Okay, not individually, not worth very much. 1 bad quiz, 2 bad quizzes, not a big deal. 30 bad quizzes, that's a big deal. Okay, but they're mostly there just to give you feedback. Okay, they're for us to review concepts, give you feedback on how well you know something and how well prepared you might be for that concept on the unit exam. Okay, so they're worth 10%, and then your final exam, 25% of your final grade. Okay, so exams are worth a pretty hefty portion of your grade here. Okay, other questions that come up. What do I need for this course? Bare minimum, a scientific calculator. Okay, if you have a graphing calculator from math, great, but you don't need to have a graphing calculator. As long as your calculator can do trig, okay, then it's okay. Okay? Writing utensils, pens or pencils, and some paper. Okay, that's really all you need. You don't need rulers, you don't need any of that stuff for this course. Okay, calculator, pen or pencil, paper. Can you have food and drink in here? Yes, you can, but if you make a mess, please clean it up. Okay? Can you listen to music in here? Yes, at certain times. Okay? If I'm teaching like I am right now, then no. All right? But if we're working on some problem solving and you want to eliminate distractions and put your headphones on, I'm fine with that. I work the same way. Okay? So that's an appropriate situation for that. Okay? And obviously, I have no problem with your phone being out on your desk. Okay? It's hopefully going to be busy. Okay? Doing, having the notes package out or the worksheet booklet out. If it's becoming a distraction for you, then that's a problem. That said, I think 2 years ago was the last time I confiscated a phone. And I don't remember when before that. Okay? So it's pretty rare. Most of the time people are pretty mature about the use of their phone. That said, if you're letting it distract you, it really only hurts you. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay, bathrooms. Obviously, the two closest are right out the door here. Girls' bathroom right there, boys' bathroom right there. The water fountain is just past the boys' bathroom. You can refill your water bottle. Okay, fire exits. Our primary fire exit is out the doors of the language wing over here. So we would turn left out my door, go past the stairs, and out that set of doors past the vending machines. Okay, and we go to the back parking lot. Should that exit be blocked, our secondary exit is the front doors of the school. Okay, so we would go out through the out by the office. Our tertiary exit is out the end of this hallway. Okay, if all three of those are blocked, that window is very big. This desk is very heavy. I get to fill. Okay? I'm the one who gets to make the break and the decision. Okay? All right. Any burning questions from you guys? Okay. You need to get on your phone the notes package, lesson 1. Okay? So we're going to get started on that here right away.